welcome to Alight Handwoven's Tip Tuesday. My name is Kristen, and I'm going to be showing you how to do a slip knot using a sling ring. I'll be using a medium-sized sling ring. You can use a small for more soapy wraps that might slip, and especially if you're wearing a bigger baby or a toddler and a soapy wrap, you might find that your wrap slips through the medium-sized ring, and that might be when you use a small. I'm just going to show you how to do a slip knot using the sling ring. This is an Alight Handwoven's 3.7 meter Valkyria. So the first thing I do is I make sure that the pass that I'm going to be using, and it's always going to be just like a slip knot, the pass that's coming across your chest, you just want to make sure that your rails are not twisted. So you want to spread them out, almost pulling them diagonally, and then I just do like an accordion type bunch just to make sure my top and bottom rails don't get twisted. And I always make sure I pull the top rail kind of tight. And then I take my sling ring, I place it on my wrap, and I'm creating a bit of a loop. And then, still making sure that my top rail is on the top, I slip my hand through the loop. And right here, you want to make sure that the wrap is not twisted. So I just want to kind of twist it over. And here you can pull your wrap a bit just to make sure it's not twisted and all funky. And then I'm going to keep the loop, take my hand on the same side where the wrap's coming across, and I'm going to place my hand through the loop outside and towards my chest. And again, you might just want to double check to make sure nothing's twisted. Then you, just like with a slip knot, you have a tail that's coming across your shoulder and your arm. I like to drape it across my arm and then carefully gather it, making sure that my rails don't twist. And you also, just like with the slip knot, you just want to make sure that nothing's twisted up. And I'm going to kind of gather it on my shoulder, pull it up, and pull it straight down. The same hand that's through the loop, I just hold on to the tail that's on my shoulder, and I'm going to feed the entire tail through the loop. So you just pull it through, gathering every piece of that wrap and fringe. Here, before I tighten it for the slip knot, I just want to make sure that all of my rails and everything aren't twisted, because this is your active part of your slip knot where it's going to help you tighten your carry and tighten the piece on your shoulder. So once you know that none of it is twisted, I'm going to take the ring that's slipped a little bit and just pull it tight. And then the tail that came across my shoulder, you just want to mess with it a little bit. You can see I'm pulling it tight, making sure my top rail is still at the top. And as you can see, it got loose. But just like with a slip knot, you're able to take that active tail, pull down on it, and slip this part around. And just like a slip knot again, you can work your way through your wrap from one side through the middle, pulling down to tighten up your shoulder. If you find it's gotten too tight, because sometimes I'll go and do this and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not leave enough room to put Jane in. All you need to do is pull down just a little bit, which loosens this again, and then you can move your wraparound and whatnot. Pull it down just like with the slip knot, and then just keep tightening it, loosening it. And I know in another Tip Tuesday, you can kind of shimmy your shoulder, and that helps with the dryer wraps to tighten. So that's that. Thanks for joining us.